The Minnesota Housing Finance Agency offers programs to help homebuyers throughout the state of Minnesota. The great thing is it's not just for first-time homebuyers, it's also for repeat homebuyers. They offer many types of financing: conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA. And along with each of those program types, they offer various down payment assistance loans: the deferred payment loan, the deferred payment loan plus, and the monthly payment loan. In this video, we're going to talk about all of these and how they might end up being a benefit to you. I'm Peter Lindquist with the Lindquist team at Guaranteed Rate. I'm a loan officer in Woodbury, Minnesota. I've got extensive experience originating loans with the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency. If you want to buy a house, we'll get you home. Now, if you've got questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. In fact, if you are thinking about buying a home using down payment assistance, please just make a note of that down below. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button to support our channel. We will be adding more videos about first-time homebuyer products and programs throughout the year. So who is a good candidate for financing through the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency? Well, it has maximum income limits, but you might be surprised at this. The maximum income limit of their step-up program is $175,000. Now, they've got two main programs. One is called Startup, one is called Step Up. Startup is designed only for first-time homebuyers, and what's unique about Startup is it's the only type of loan where you can get the deferred payment loan down payment assistance program. With Step Up, you have to take the monthly payment loan if you're going to opt for down payment assistance. So for first-time home buyers, the Startup program is ideal, especially if they qualify for the deferred payment loan. Now, the definition of first-time home buyer is that you have not owned and occupied a home within the last 36 months. I've had situations where a buyer owns a cabin and has been renting for the last 3 years in an apartment. That makes them a first-time home buyer because they did not own and occupy within the last 3 years. These programs are for home buyers who want to buy and occupy a home in Minnesota. It can be a 1 or 2 unit, and that's pretty cool. So if you want to have someone help you make your mortgage payments and buy a duplex, MHFA has programs available for you. It's good for condos and townhomes and twin homes. And the primary value to using this program is down payment assistance, because you can buy a home with as little as $1,000 cash out of pocket. Now, mortgage rates in general are a little bit higher with MHFA. With lower down payment comes greater risk for the state of Minnesota, so they'll increase the rate. If you have a down payment available to you, we'll at least consider MHFA, but with down payment and a great credit score, oftentimes a traditional program will have a lower interest rate. So now, where to get it? Not all banks and credit unions offer MHFA financing, so you get it through somebody like me at a mortgage company that offers it. I have worked with MHFA for over 10 years and have been an award-winning mortgage lender through them throughout that whole time. A lot of lenders will shy away from this program because it does take extra work, but that has become my specialty over the years. So how to qualify for an MHFA loan? Let's talk about some of the basics. You have to qualify for a mortgage loan in every other way. So it's the same conventional FHA and VA qualifications, just with the help of down payment assistance. The minimum credit scores with MHFA are higher than with traditional loans. So for conventional VA and USDA, it's 640 with MHFA financing, and it's 650 with FHA financing. One of the biggest qualifiers is the maximum income limits. I'll put a link in the description below. In fact, I've got a number of links below with program information, but the maximum income limits can be a little difficult to calculate. Let me just give you an idea. Now, for the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency Startup Program in the Twin Cities area, currently with a family of 3+ persons in the household, the maximum income limit is $134,800. So that's to qualify for Startup. If your income is over that, you would not qualify for that program, and you would need to use Step Up And step up will go all the way up to $175,400. Now, a home buyer who is a first-time home buyer will want to qualify for startup if they're taking out down payment assistance, because the deferred payment loan becomes available to them. So the two big differences between deferred payment loan and monthly payment loan: the deferred payment loan is 0% interest and no monthly payments. You only pay it off once you refinance the loan, you sell the house and pay it off, or if you vacate the house and rent it out. Those are the circumstances in which you would pay off the deferred payment loan. But there's no monthly payments until that part. Now, the maximum income limit on the deferred payment loan is different. So for that same family of 3 people, that would be $95,000. So the income limit for the startup program is $134,800, but to get the deferred payment loan, that maxes out at $95,000. So if you are a startup buyer and your income is over $95,000, then you would be limited to the monthly payment loan. So you can still get down payment assistance, it's just that you would get the monthly payment loan. So now with the step-up program, the down payment assistance is $17,000, and it's as a monthly payment loan, so it does add to your monthly payment, but it covers more of your down payment and closing costs. The step-up program is much more liberal when it comes to income qualifying, in that it's only qualifying the income. So as a gross exaggeration, we can have one income earner who is earning $175,000 and another income earner who earns $300,000. If we use just the income earner who makes $175,000, now we can use the monthly payment loan in that situation. So you can see it actually can work with many different types of buyers. Now there's a maximum purchase price limit also, which changes throughout the year. Currently $515,000 for step up and $372,000 for startup. And then finally, Homebuyer Education is required for first-time homebuyers, and I'll put links below to both online classes as well as in-person classes as well. You just need to have that accomplished no later than 3 weeks prior to closing. So a few other notes to know about MHFA. With the deferred payment loan, you need to pay it off if you vacate the property. So if your intent is to buy a house and later rent it out, the deferred payment loan, you would have to keep in mind you'll have to pay that off before you rent it out. With the monthly payment loan, you can actually vacate the property after you've lived there for a year, and the monthly payment loan can remain in place. Another thing to know is that mortgage rates are higher with MHFA, because most of the loans you're going to take out with them are lower down payment because they've got down payment assistance. It's higher risk to the state of Minnesota, so the interest rates are going to end up being higher. And one final note that a lot of people misunderstand: there is no separate MHFA inspection. Now, there used to be a program or programs through the state of Minnesota many years ago that did require that, and that's where that information still comes from. But there's no separate home inspection. In fact, a home inspection is not required. A home appraisal is, but in terms of a home inspection, that's entirely up to the buyer. We highly recommend it, but it's not required by MHFA. So in summary, the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency is really designed for a lot of Minnesotans. It will become much more important as time goes by because of the interest rate penalties that Fannie Mae is going to be charging borrowers with less than perfect credit. And for any home buyers who qualify for in any other way, and if you haven't talked about down payment assistance, I would love that opportunity to work with you and serve you with MHFA.
Do you want to buy a house? We will get you home. We will get you home.
I want to buy a house, please get me home.
We will get you home at last. We will get you home.